In the year of isolation and corona, also for the 10th anniversary of Disney's Tangled, it was only appropriate to throw Rapunzel-themed birthday party for my niece. In this video I'm gonna show you how I made party decorations on a very low budget. So, firstly, I gathered all the materials. This birthday party for my niece was being thrown at our country house, so I searched for everything purple and yellow in my craft stash. I found some fabric scraps for sweet decor, pom-poms, tassels, ribbons, balloons, and a lot of artificial flowers. For the flag bunting, I used purple and yellow paper. I printed these sun emblems on 4 sheets of 90 GSM yellow paper and cut them out. Keep in mind that it is a time-consuming job. Well, this whole party decorating thing is. For the flags, I cut a thicker purple paper with a banner cutting board. You can totally cut it with scissors, but I'm a sucker for tools, so I own some of them. As you can see, I used all the corners and leftovers to make additional flags. Then I took some cardboard box and cut the octagons from it. I glued them on the flags and attached the sun emblems on top to create a 3D effect. Then I made a scallop trim. I made it with a punch board, but you can cut it by hand, although it takes approximately 4 times longer. Me and my mom have checked that. For decorations between flags, I used an old book. I've cut 1 cm wide strips and formed these ribbons from 3 strips each. Then I added some magnetic tape strips and polyester pom-poms. You can make your own pom-poms if you have yarn, but I had these already unused for many years, so I used them. Then I threaded a yarn through the holes and connected the flags. I attached the tassels and ribbons between each flag. For the Rapunzel's tiara, I used a cheap plastic tiara headband. I painted it black and then with a drop of gold paint, I dabbed it to look like aged gold. You can also work in strokes for a brushed metal look. Then I took some embellishments from my crafting stash. I started with a gold sequin trim to form the settings for the stones, which should be of teardrop shape, but I hadn't such gems, so I used simple oval ones. I added red acrylic gems and embellished with little pearl cabochons. I had trimmed my nails the day before, so I was truly struggling with handling these small rebels. I used a pearl trim to create a curved bottom shape of tiara. Then I took even smaller pearls, good luck to me with that, and glued them all around the stones. tiara didn't turn out exactly like replica, but it was made from what I had on hand. For the birthday banner, I printed the sun emblem on 2 A4 sheets, cut them out and glued together. Traced it on a yellow cardboard with the help of my favorite rock. As I had some unused dark yellow paint at the moment, I shaded the edges of the sun. I found this hemmed piece of purple fabric from one of my cosplays, and it was perfect for the banner. I glued 4 Swedish decor on the edges and then glued the sun with the cardboard below for a 3D effect. I decorated the bottom of the banner with tassels and ribbons. I cut out a number from purple paper and glued it with the cardboard below as well. I printed the lanterns in black and white in 2 sizes on a pale yellow paper. I glued it with PVA glue, but I suggest using double-sided tape or a glue stick, as my lanterns got a bit wrinkled. Then I attached them on a thread, and again I suggest to tie the knots on each lantern while threading, as me I didn't do that and mine were moving freely along the thread and the wind was gathering all the lanterns in one cluster. I had to tie the knots separately afterwards. I crafted the magic flower from a thin cardboard box. For symmetry, I folded a paper scrap and cut the leaf shape, traced it on the cardboard and cut them out. For petals to have a texture, I used a scrap of crepe paper. I glued the petals onto the paper. Remember to do it along the texture. After glue has dried, I mixed some ochre and cadmium yellow paints, but don't worry, a simple yellow color would do the job. Pin the petals and don't forget the sides. I didn't paint the bottom of the petals as my crepe paper fortunately was purple and the original magic flower has a purple in the middle. After first layer has dried, I painted the petals again and immediately sprinkled them with a gold glitter so it stuck to the wet paint. Wiggle the petals to spread the glitter more evenly. I found old purple nail polish that I haven't used in years, so I decided to use it for ornaments. Then cut the slits into the petals and glue them together to form a cup shape. Round the tips with the help of a marker or any other round object. As I had some yellow paint left, I highlighted the tips. Then I glued the petals together. For the stamens, I used gold-colored wire and with the help of jewelry pliers made the swirls. Then I took some cardboard from the trash bin and rolled the strips onto the bottom of stamens. It will help them to hold better. Glue all 3 of them into the center and put some more hot glue around and immediately sprinkle with glitter. For the stem I used an artificial flower and a balloon holder. It fit perfectly onto the stem and I thought it would hold this big and quite heavy blossom better. Well, it did. As I forgot to put glitter on the bottom side of the petals, I sprinkled them onto PVA glue after. Then I found some rocks on the road, put them into a terracotta planter and covered with a beautiful moss I found in the yard. I printed some black and white copies of Flynn Rider wanted posters and distressed them with a simple rag and the dirt. I watered some ground nearby, so distressing was easier. Some guests thought that these posters were hanging on the walls for quite some time already, so the weathering job was well done. This tower I made a year before, and it wasn't supposed to be a Rapunzel's tower, but as I had it already, I thought it would be just perfect for this occasion. I made this tower totally from rubbish. The base is from Pringles box, toilet paper roll and some cardboard boxes. It was covered with a cardboard roof tiles, stones from egg carton, paper napkin and windows from food container. Painted firstly black and then brought to life with colors. I simply used some mulberry paper flowers and decorated leaves to turn it into Rapunzel's tower. Those big tassels were made from a variety of materials that I was able to find on site. I used some old grandma's clothing, bedding, fabric scraps, magnetic audio tape and some tissue paper. I cut everything into 30-40 cm long, 1 cm wide strips. And I used around 10 different strips for each tassel. But surely you can use more. Tie a fabric strip in the center around all the strips, fold it in half and then tie around one more strip around to form a tassel. As the strips weren't exactly same length, I leveled them slightly. I didn't want a straight edge, so I cut them at the angle. Then the tassels were ready to be hung on the inside of gazebo's roof. I printed the faded picture of the Snuggly Duckling signboard and cut it out. With the help of my rock, again I placed it on the thick cardboard. I used 2 layers for the sign. For the first one I cut just the outer shape, and for the second layer I cut all the lines. X-Acto knife here is a big help. Then I glued both layers together and then cut the lines of the bottom layer so it aligned with the top one. I cut out 2 thin planks and glued them on top. With a ruler and a pencil, I made slight grooves where the planks should meet. Then I covered all the board with a burnt umber acrylic paint. I colored the sign with oil pastel crayons. This step can be completed with any paint, but I wanted to try this technique. You can color all the surface or make it more faded like I did. For the ins title, I decided not to cut out the letters on template, but to write them myself. Then I painted them with white acrylic paint. I made 2 holes on top with an awl and threaded a jute rope through with a tied knot in the end. Our royal gazebo actually is a simple, cheapest gazebo on the market. We covered it with what we had in our country house, some old curtains and fabric scraps. We used one night curtain sheet on the roof and the decorative corners around the table. Daylight curtains and organza strips in the corners, then decorated with flag bunting and artificial flowers. The tassels and the fabric swag made the interior also more festive. The other decoration was made from an old branch decorated with bush leaves, flowers, tassels, birthday banner, and a pinata that my mom made from cardboard and crepe paper. I decorated the area with balloons on the sticks and paper lanterns. If you're planning to throw a themed party, I suggest to look for fabrics, curtains, tablecloth in thrift stores and surely to use what you already have. You can download all the templates below. Thank you for watching and happy crafting!